Yes, it is day 3 of the best month of my life, so let's get after it for the very curious news from around Mother Russia with the amazing Conrad. Very curious news, Adam. Number 1. Unlike his biggest rival, Leo Messi could not step up for his country when it mattered. However, it should be noted that he doesn't play as well for his country as he does for his club, and he never has. And I know this because I've been lucky enough to have seen him play in person over 20 times, and yes, this is a humble brag, and he's always been better for Barcelona than he has for Argentina. And we could argue that's because Barcelona are better than his national team, which must be a weird feeling because I'd venture to guess that 98 to 99% of the professional players playing today around the world would feel like playing on their national team would be a step up from their club, which is how I always felt, but he's not one of them. And it's not like he doesn't have an incredible amount of talented players around him with his national team. It's just that collectively, Argentina lacked the rhythm, movement, especially off the ball, and decisiveness that he's most definitely accustomed to, or should I say spoiled by, when playing for his club. Also, I should mention that if you think it's painful to watch Argentina play, and yes, I have to admit it is at times, then blame Barcelona. They've brainwashed you into believing that every team that Messi plays for should play the same way, and Argentina can't. They aren't good enough. And frankly, either was Messi today, so I don't want to be an apologist for him because I believe, and I've said this countless times before, that for me, he's the most talented player in the world, even though I think Cristiano Ronaldo has become more clutch in recent years by making the big plays in the biggest of games for both club and country. But Messi had a chance to totally redeem himself and prove that he is clutch for his country in the biggest tournaments too, especially after they lost 3 major finals in a row. But he missed a penalty when his country needed him most, which would have most likely sealed the win for them and made people forget about everyone on Argentina's lackluster performance overall. But instead, they drew 1-1, and now whatever pressure he and the team were under is now ratcheted up a notch or 3 or 4 because their margin for error in trying to advance out of the group is a lot less. Now, with all this said, I don't want to take anything away from Iceland, who played with so much spirit and enthusiasm and who make parking the bus look so exciting that it probably gives Jose Mourinho a boner, that I'm really excited to see how the little island fares in their next game against Nigeria. Very curious news item. Number 2. Paul Pogba to the rescue. Sure, Pogba's deft touch on his game-winning goal took a bit of a deflection, or at least that's how it looked to me. And sure, Samuel Umtiti decided to inexplicably handle the ball off of a free kick, which led to Australia's 1 goal of the game, and I'm sure a lot of "what the hell were you thinking" questions from his teammates in the changing room afterwards. And sure, French manager Didier Deschamps' decision to go with a talented and youthful but relatively inexperienced side almost backfired, with the French failing to get out of first gear for most of the game, including star striker Antoine Griezmann, who, despite doing well to earn and score a penalty, was largely ineffective for the rest of it, which is why he was taken off shortly after the hour mark. So it's almost like Griezmann used up all of his creativity in his The Decision mini documentary. So maybe next time he can ease up on doing that type of stuff and focus on the World Cup. But with that said, France generally have struggled in the group stage of the World Cup since they won it all in 1998. This was only their 4th group stage win since then, which is a pretty surprising stat. So for them to figure out how to get all 3 points despite not playing well, that's a good sign in my opinion of being tougher mentally, which will serve them well throughout the tournament. Now as for the Aussie, I believe they can keep their heads held up high because it took the intervention of technology, VAR for the penalty and goal line tech for Pogba's winner, to get beaten. Now, if they put a similar effort in against Peru and the Danes, I really believe we could see them cause an upset and maybe even get through the group. Very curious news, Adam. Number 3. I am gutted for Peru. Even though my dad's side of the family is from Denmark, so I have Danish blood coursing through these veins, I was gutted to see Peru lose today because they didn't deserve it. They created a ton of chances, including a penalty that Christian Cueva skied over the crossbar, and I'm not sure that it landed yet. I think it's up there with Sergio Ramos's somewhere. But due to some bad luck, like I just mentioned, poor finishing, and some heroic defending and goalkeeping by the Danes, they have nothing to show for their performance, and that sucks because I really believe they deserved at least a share of the spoils. But since they didn't get it, I'm absolutely buzzing for Denmark because they have set themselves up well to now get through the group, where they will probably finish in 2nd behind France, play Croatia, and then who knows? They can make a quarterfinal, maybe. I don't know. It's possible. They've done it before. Remember back in 1992? Maybe you guys don't remember that, but I'm going to give you a history lesson. Back in 1992, they didn't even qualify for the Euros that summer. They got invited at the last minute because Yugoslavia had to drop out, and then they won the whole thing, which is amazing. So why can't history kind of repeat itself? I mean, I know it's not the exact same story, but it could be a nice narrative to match if they make a deep run. Possibly. Very curious news item number 4. What happened to the not-so-super Eagles? Well, I'll tell you. First off, they didn't even wear their Superfly white kits that everybody wants to buy, myself included. So what's the point of having Superfly white kits if you can't even wear them? And I don't care if they clash with Croatia's kits. Your kits are better. Make them change. Second, Croatia, who grabbed their first opening game win since their historic debut in 1996, were the better team throughout their 2-0 win. So I probably should have started with this important point first about why Nigeria wasn't that super. Next time I'll do that. Third, Nigeria paid for their inexperience because only 5 members of the current squad played in the last World Cup. And according to one of my Nigerian pals, Chike Nwoye, love you Chike, he said that you could see a lot of the players freeze on the big stage. Fourth, it's also been 24 years since the curse of the number 9 jersey was born, since no player wearing the number 9 jersey for the Super Eagles has scored a World Cup goal since the underappreciated Rashid Yekini, and sadly, the curse continues. And fifth and final, this marks 3 straight losses for African countries so far in the tournament. And not only do they not have any points, they haven't scored any goals either. So Africa, let's go. It's time to pick up your game. And all right, that is it. That is all Jimmy Cringe Dad has for today. So let me know your thoughts down below. Hit like and subscribe if you're feeling it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later.